Hey everybody, hope you're having a great summer. I definitely am. This has been the summer that I've been the most relaxed that I can remember. And a big reason for that is something that I explained, not the last video, the one before that, and I'm going to link it. And I just explained that I made a really big decision to go back to being a stay-at-home mom after having earned my master's to be a therapist. And that was a really hard decision, but my hearing had a lot to do with it. I wear hearing aids, in case you didn't know. And I'm so surprised at how peaceful and how joyful I feel with this decision. I feel like I'm enjoying little things and I'm being able to be present more than ever before. And I think the reason for that is self-care, because I've acknowledged something that was keeping me from being my best self, from being comfortable with myself. Like my ears needed a break, and I gave my ears a break, and that was revolutionary. My level of contentment, my level of peace and ability to enjoy my kids, myself, my time with my husband, everything. My ability to enjoy little things has been restored in a way that I've forgotten about. In this spirit, I present to you my summer favorites. I wanted to share with you some things that have been making me happy this summer, maybe some suggestions, maybe you don't know them. And yeah, I'm gonna start with a book. I've gotten to know this Here and Beyond. How cool is this title? I wish I thought of this title before, for a video or something. Here and Beyond Live Skillfully with Hearing Loss. That's by Shari, Eberts, and Gael Hannan. I'm sure I'm butchering this, but they're awesome. I really wish I had found this book when I first started my hearing aids journey, because it would have made me feel less alone. One of the things that they talk about in this book is the grieving process that you can go through after you find out, if you find out as an adult, that you have hearing loss, because there was definitely a period that I was grieving how hard I'd been on myself all my life, thinking that there was something wrong with me socially, mentally, psychologically. That I was so hard on myself, thinking, why can't I feel more included in conversations? Why can't I feel more alert and more be able to concentrate more on what people are saying? And like, why do I have to keep asking what all the time? And that obviously affects your self-esteem and how you see yourself, and affects how other people see you. So there was a period that I was just mourning the loss of what could have been if I'd known that the issue was my hearing, that it wasn't, my personality or whatever. Full disclosure, I have not finished this book. I'm reading bits and pieces. I think it's because it brings me back to that time that was, a hard transition process, and so I'm digesting this book little by little. I feel like this book is perfect for someone going through that, and I feel like I'm past that period, so thankfully. But if you're going through that, I would highly recommend it. Will make you feel more normal. This book is really good at focusing on encouraging us to be proactive, to advocate for ourselves, and just embrace the ears you have, the hearing you have. And I honestly don't see the reason why I say I'm past this transition period is because I no longer see my hearing issues as something negative. I see it as something that's just part of me, like my hand, my eyes, and my ears, and it's been really transforming and refreshing and liberating to accept what is, to accept myself as I am, and fully embrace myself as I am, and fully take care of myself as I am. So yeah, highly recommend if you suspect you're struggling with hearing loss. The sun is cooking me. It's like straight on my head, but I think the lighting is pretty cool, or not. I don't know. I'm gonna move on. So I want to talk about something that I got in my FabFitFun box. So I'm back at receiving them. I used to get them like over a year ago, but I got them. I ordered them again as like a birthday gift, a belated birthday gift for myself. So now they have add-ons, and one of the things that are options that you can pay a little bit extra, like if I paid $20, I could get this guy, Foxybae. It's full of my hair because I just used it. But I've always heard about these brushes, and I was skeptical because my hair is so high maintenance. My hair needs just a lot of tools, and I'm like, just one little thing is gonna take care of it. But I was surprised, because I'll show you the footage. I was surprised of how smooth my hair looked with just using it without using any sort of hair dryer beforehand. and how straight it looked afterwards. Like it looked pretty okay without me putting on a flat iron. Now, of course, I did flat iron my hair afterwards because here's the thing, I have curly roots because my natural hair is curly. So I just need that insurance, maybe psychologically, I don't know. But I did flat iron my hair afterwards, and I like to curl the ends a little bit. But if I didn't have my flat iron or the curling one, this would have been okay. And this I thought this was a really good find. You know, if you're going on a beach trip, you don't want to take a bunch of stuff. You have difficult hair like mine, then you can just take this, and it's pretty cool. I approve. Speaking of summer vacations, I present to you my current favorite body sunscreen. So I love it that it's a spray and it's 50. But what I love the most about it is that it has vitamin C or antioxidant. I don't know, but it feels more like a skin treatment than just sunscreen. I'm going to insert a footage of me applying it, and you can tell that it leaves a really nice sheen on your skin, and without it feeling sticky, or without, it feels nicer on my skin than just straight up sunscreen without whatever it is that they have here that's antioxidant, vitamin C, whatever. Highly recommend. I already finished through. I never finished through a sunscreen, you know, a body sunscreen. So that shows I really like it. Now for the face, my favorite sunscreen. I love it that this Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. This doubles as a moisturizer, especially if you use a good heavy duty moisturizer at night. Then you don't need a heavy moisturization. That's if you have drier skin like mine. Dry combination. This is great if you want to skip the whole sunscreen moisturizer before foundation thing, because it does give you a nice coverage, but it has SPF 45, and it is really hydrating. When you put it on, you can tell it's really runny, but when you pat it in with a sponge, that's the way I like to apply it. It gives nice coverage without it looking too makeup-y. Now, I have tried it with a moisturizer underneath, and then it looks a little bit makeup-y. But by itself, it really blends into the skin perfectly. I think it was formulated to be that answer to not needing to put on sunscreen or face lotion before. That's my guess. My color is Cool Bone, if you're interested. And hopefully you can still see what I'm doing here because the lighting is doing crazy. But yeah, highly recommend if you want an everyday face sunscreen that, you know, won't add one more step, that will actually take away the step of moisturizer. Since we're talking about makeup, this new launch from Huda Beauty. So I tried her old concealer, and it had really good coverage, but it felt really heavy, right? And it felt like it was sitting, it could look like it was sitting on your skin. This one is the opposite. This one, I mean, it's not as crazy coverage, but it's pretty good coverage. But what's wonderful about this is that it disappears in your skin, like it blends with your skin faster than any concealer I've ever tried in my life. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but you can see that, hopefully you can see that as patting it with the sponge, it just disappears. It's just, where is it? I don't know. It does cover my dark circles. It's something that you have to try to see for yourself to see how different it is from other concealers. My color is Vanilla Swirl. I love it that she puts, you know, food names on her stuff. It feels like a lightweight concealer, but it covers more than you think it will cover. I don't know, it's really awesome. I appreciate it. If you watched my video about my birthday, you saw me showing this guy the Samba Sensation that I absolutely had to get, obviously, as a Brazilian. A little Sephora palette that they have on the checkout, only 15 bucks. And I thought that the shades of brown were so good, were so coffee-like, and I'm a big coffee person, and it was warm without it being too orangey. It's really great. I'm gonna insert footage of what I did with my eyes today. I don't know if you can tell because of the lighting here. But yeah, I mainly just used this one, just intensified it in the corners, and then I used some of this dye, which is like a shimmer version of that one. These two shimmers are really good too, like for a topper. Can you tell? Yeah, they're really good at, you know, if you want to do like the center more illuminated, you know, that look. But usually I just use one of the browns and just go to town on one of the browns. And I don't know why I'm keeping this. Are you guys like that too? You just keep the the plastic forever to keep it fresh. That's how you know you like a product, when you're afraid to damage it. I really like this brown with just a little bit of sparkle because it adds something different without it really changing the color what you did in your eyes. I'm a big brown eye person, as you can tell. So yeah, highly recommend, and that's definitely my summer palette. I don't have a footage of me applying the eyeliner, but I'm using the Fenty Beauty brown liner, the Flyliner as they call it, in brown. And it's interesting because when you put it on, see, it looks warmer than it's gonna look once it dries down. I love the name. It's in Big Truffle. And I first I thought, oh, they should name it in Deep Truffle, but then I don't think they wanted the association of that, just because, to say deep brown. But you see how it's drying cooler than when I first put it on. It's really good. Like, I enjoy the experience of putting it on more than my other eyeliners. So that's what I'm wearing most of the time this summer. Continuing on the Fenty train, they just released this product called the Poutsicle, which is a lip stain that's also a lip balm. So it's really interesting. I'm going to insert a footage of me applying it. When you first put it on, you're like, whoa, that's going to be too much. But then when you pat it, it leaves the most beautiful stain. I have it in the color My Type, M-A-I, which is so cute. They have another color that I'm thinking about getting, which is a more of a coral tones, called Zesty Bestie. Loving the names. I think with this shirt, there was another color that was more burgundy or more purpley that I have my eye on as well. And there's also a red one. What I really like about this product, let me explain. The applicator makes it easy for you to draw your lips. It's less intimidating because when you think stain, like you're afraid to make a mess and then stain. Like, I never had a problem with, staining outside of my lips with this because this is so precise. It's not drying on your lips even after the balmy texture is out. Like, it still feels pretty good. And I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm afraid of the bugs eating me. There's a huge bug. Before I go, I want to talk about my very favorite song of the summer, which is called Honey in the Rock by Brooke Ligertwood. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. And Brandon Lake, and it's so good, guys. I mean, I've been a Christian my whole life, but when I first heard Honey in the Rock, I'm like, what in the world is Honey in the Rock? and then I realized that there's a psalm, or there's a couple passages in the Bible when it talks about God taking care of his people so well that is, like they could have honey come out of a rock, which is, how could honey come out of a rock? But it's like a symbol of satisfying with, with simple pleasures, with good things, with happiness, even out of a really hard place. And that's such a beautiful message. The song just gets me every time. I wish I could play the whole song here for you guys, but I don't think I can. It's definitely been my summer song because whenever I'm tempted to overcomplicate things, just think that I need to be doing this, that, with the kids or myself, and to have a successful summer, then I try to take a deep breath, and I sing to myself in my head, there's honey in the rock, water in the stone, manna on the ground, no matter where I go. I don't need to worry now that I know everything I need you got. There's honey in the rock. And just that simplicity of seeing what you have and seeing the sweetness of what you have, and instead of focusing on what we lack, then it helps you be content, and it helps you notice what you have, and notice that it's beautiful. This is what I hope for you guys. I hope you have a beautiful summer. I hope you see how beautiful you are, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. If you like this one, please click on the like button. That will help me out a lot. Click on the subscribe button if you haven't already. That will help me out a lot. And I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.